This is our starter. It's called banica and it's a typical Bulgarian breakfast. It's made from filo pastry, cheese and eggs. Then we have our main, which is coming from China. It's eggs and tomato. Then we have two desserts, which I'm very happy about. We have a apple crumble that Jack made for us. And then we have this thing, which is
glutinous ice pudding, rice pudding. It's called tang yuan.
Eating a traditional Caribbean meal. That's where I'm from. That's where my family's from. So today we have jerk chicken. We've got rice and peas, and we've got veg.
So for starter, as I said, we have banica, which I made myself yesterday. Yeah, so we eat it with our hands. So please take a bit. Yay. I hope you guys will enjoy it.
Do you eat it in the special dates or?
Yeah. We basically eat it during the weekends because it takes quite a while to be to make it. So for example, if in America children anticipate Sunday to have pancakes, in Bulgaria we do it to have banica.
Okay, in Chinese New Year we put coins in the dumplings, and if someone eats a coin, they will be seen as lucky for the next year. And we also eat soy sauce fish. It's because we have an idiom because fish represents abundance, and we have an idiom surplus year after years. So they have same meaning for the fish. So we eat fish in Chinese New Year even, and we leave it to the next day for the New Year. It means the whole year we have the surplus.
Usually things like this are reserved for special occasions like weddings, funerals, baptisms, etc.
Usually in Orthodox Christianity you do fasting, which means that before Easter and before Christmas people are not supposed to eat meat and some other particular foods. But honestly, no one does that, maybe just the old people.
Just remind me some special thing, like after the 7 days after the Chinese New Year, it was called everyone's birthday. It was every family cooking some special dishes, like the 7 days of New Year. It's like they're having some noodles or having some good dishes for celebrate everyone's birthday.
Usually at Christmas time we have just like in England how you have turkey and all of that, we have the same thing. We were colonized by the British. But they add stuff as well. So in Guyana, for instance, they add specifically pepper pot, which is like a stew of oxtail.
What about your main dishes? Do you eat all types of meat in your countries?
You mean pork, beef?
Yeah.
We do eat pork, beef, chicken, and we normally don't eat horses, but we also eat rabbits, because most people in Chengdu province, they have sourced and spiced the rabbit head. They sell it on the street, and it's just like a snacks. So you can
cooking with some spicy spicy things.
So you can hold it on the street.
Yes. In my country, we pretty much eat the main types of meat that we eat is of course chicken, pork, beef. We eat lamb. Basically, we're very traditional. We don't eat anything crazy. We do fish, of course. Meat.
Yeah, I'd say the UK is quite similar. So we don't really eat. Well, we don't eat dog, horse, snake, not really rabbit, I don't think. Yes, some people do. But and I personally don't choose to eat any meat. I think that's sort of on the rise amongst young people in the UK, from what I've seen anyway. I've got a lot of friends who are like that as well. So
Why you are vegetarian?
I sort of just disagreed with it, and I've always loved animals. Obviously, meat's quite tasty. I've always enjoyed eating it, but I thought if I could not eat it, then probably shows, and it's been really easy and feel better for it, I guess. So.
I think this most normal dishes in China, because I think like everyone can cook it, and yeah, and like elderly or younger person, everyone love these dishes.
Do you have any drinks in your countries that your countries are associated with?
I think like nowadays most popular drink is bubble tea. Do you know that?
Bubble tea. Sounds
Yeah,
good.
it's the black tea with milk and with bubbles.
What's milk?
Milk and
Oh, milk.
Oh, milk.
yeah, sorry. And like we have a store in China. It's like if you want to have this drink, you need to wait 4 hours.
Really?
4 hours?
Yeah.
People usually drink rum. Rum is very good for, very popular in the Caribbean. In fact, I'm sure you know some brands. There's El Dorado from Guyana. There's Mount Gay from Barbados. There's Appleton from Jamaica.
In my country, like Bulgaria, it's an Eastern European country, and it's like a stereotype that Eastern Europeans drink a lot of alcohol, which is actually true. It's pretty much the same like Russia, but like they have vodka. We have this thing that it's called rakia, and it's very strong. Like the content of alcohol could be from 40% to 80%, which is like deadly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, in China, there's some alcohol like called baijiu, and there are loads of different types of it. Like the alcohol level is like 58. Yeah, so some old people, they're having business together. They're calling from loads of that kind of wine, and they like people was like, you finish the whole bottle of it, and I will have the business deal with you. That's like a culture of business in China.
Does everybody in your society get enough to eat?
I think relatively speaking, the UK is quite a well-off country. So yeah, relatively, most people would get quite a lot to eat, but obviously there's people who don't. And I think it's the Trussell Fund who've set up food banks. Apparently their usage is on the rise. So yeah, most people would eat quite well, I'd say. But obviously there's always people who struggle more.
Yeah, in Hong Kong, in my culture, like we waste a lot of food because if you invite somebody in the restaurant and you leave some food, it will be shame if you package back home.
Oh.
In our culture, so they want. I guess they want to look rich or something like that. So they will do that. So we waste a lot of food.
10.5% of the population is underweight, compared to 1.1% in the USA, which is a drastic difference.
Do you have it with the Sunday rolls?
Yeah, which you'll find on the menu at most pubs on Sunday. Yeah, it's quite a traditional dessert.
So what products are made in your countries?
In Yorkshire, I read that rhubarb is quite rhubarb's a lot of rhubarb's grown here because in the Pennines, I think, because there's lots of frost and rain. Apparently, that's perfect growing condition for rhubarb. I was quite surprised by that. I didn't think that would be one of the main things it's associated with. And I think Lincolnshire was peas, because I think similar to rhubarb, the growing conditions there really good for peas. So, and then down south in sort of Kent area was cherries.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Because of the weather conditions, like Bulgaria is in this part of Europe where we have all the seasons, like winters are cold, summers are very hot, and the nature there is very suitable for many crops. For example, we have abundance of wheat to make bread. Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah.
yeah. We have. I believe we have we produce two times more than we actually consume. Something that we are very proud of is the rose oil. It's not food, but it's we have very vast lands of just roses, and we have way too many roses. We have so many that we collect the petals. Like people collect the petals and then squeeze them together, and they produce this rose oil that is pretty much famous in the whole world, and is used in the finest scents and perfumes.
Like in China, I think the most important thing is rice, corn, and pork. These things. I think rice is really important for Asia
Yeah.
because every meal they need to eat rice. Yeah, I think so.
Is there a lot of tea made in China? Or
Yeah. Also green tea.
Green tea, nice.
Yeah.
Well, like in Hong Kong, it's like we have a little bit farm in Hong Kong, but but they sell those vegetables like really expensive because it was like in
Dumplings. We use sugar, but in Guyana there's a specific type of sugar called the demerara, which is grown demerara sugar, which is grown like by the Demerara River. It's probably the most famous product out of Guyana, and actually, it's the largest export in Guyana, along with rice and rum, El Dorado rum.
So usually we have it in after the 15th day of the Chinese New Year, because it was used for the whole family to eat it at night, and it was the meaning of having everyone together.
Do you have any of the sort of more sort of stores like Tesco or Sainsbury's or M&S or Waitrose or anything in China? Was it?
Yeah, in China there doesn't have any Market Spencer.
Yeah, they had Market Spencer before, but the Market Spencer, the performance of Market Spencer is very bad, so they closed all the stores in China.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
still got a little bit in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Would you say Chinese consumers then prefer to shop at like Chinese stores, I guess?
But because I went to it many times, and the label they just written in English. There is not Chinese,
So they
and
haven't adapted to the.
they didn't adapt to.
We have our own supermarket chains, but they are not developed anywhere else except for Bulgaria. But what we do the most is, for example, there is Lidl and Kaufland. These are like very famous German supermarkets, and we have them in Bulgaria too. They are honestly even more popular than the regular Bulgarian ones because their products meet all of our needs and they're cheap. So what would you say if each of us need to choose one thing that we would say our country is associated with the rest of the world? What would you pick, for example?
The tea
Tea.
and the alcohol called baijiu is special because as she said, the percentage is quite high, and it's like a traditional alcohol in my country.
I'd say England's quite well known for its beer, with all the breweries, like I was saying earlier, and then Ireland, obviously Guinness came out there, that's really popular, and then Scotland is quite famous for its whiskey, so I guess the UK is pretty well known for its alcohol.
I would say maybe rice, because rice is a big consumer in China, and also they do export those rice to other country as well. So our plain rice was the one. 100%.
So I'm glad that you guys came to my home, that you were my guests. I couldn't ask for better guests, and yeah, I'm very happy that each of us learned something new about other countries and we made new friends. Yay!
Thank you for that.
Thank you.